Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. What's up, Mango? I know you have streamed since your marathon, but how are you feeling? How that was really fun to watch. Hey, Frederick, what's up? I'm tired, I bet. I imagine the effects of that linger for a while, but that was so much fun to watch, though. It was also fun to watch because I had to catch up on some of the VOD later, and seeing the windows behind you get lighter as the next day happened. Other than that, I'm good. We'll do it again, just not anytime soon. Yeah. You're planning a GR trip, Beast? Do you need any recommendations? At the end of it, it was so bright. Yeah, I've done pulled all-nighters before, and some of them unwillingly, like when our basement flooded. But yeah, it's just wild, emerging from emerging from that haze, and the birds are singing and lights are it's so wild. Yeah, I've actually been thinking of what I want to do for my affiliate anniversary, which will be in August. I'm trying to think of different shenanigans. I'm not going to do a marathon, I don't think, but different shenanigans I can get up to, things I want to do for giveaways, stuff like that. Because I've had a stack of keyboards down here that I've been planning to sell, but I'm thinking that I might do some of them as giveaways instead. So I want to figure that out. Some keycaps and stuff too, just for fun. So I'll need to figure that out and get up there. I also thought it'd be really funny to do some other kind of theme streams, in that I am going to be turning 40 next year. And so I thought it'd be really funny to make it a year of 40s. Or essentially the week of my birthday or something. Do build a 40s, and then make it my daily driver for a year and see if I can do it, as a weird birthday punishment for myself. Things like that. Yes, no. Planning to hit a few breweries while I am there. Nice. I think you've mentioned being gone. Blah, 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 I can't talk. I think you mentioned having gone to Harmony before. Is that right? I don't get out to breweries as often as I used to. But if you need more recs, or distilleries, if you need a good distillery rec, I would also recommend Speciation Cellars if you like sours. They're doing really good stuff there. Yeah. I have more food recommendations than drink recommendations, honestly, these days. But anyway, and also I've been thinking about, I got a new Kickstarter that came in today. And so I've been planning ahead too for trying to do some gamey streams. Wow. That was really funny. Twitch just flagged your message, Beast, because it had "I will hit you." And it was this seems pretty aggressive. Should we allow this message? Yeah. Feel free to hit me up. DM me wherever. Happy to help if you need some recommendations. Anyway, I don't know how to pronounce this company. I don't know if it's Genki or Jinky. But this was a Kickstarter I backed, and so as you can see, since these are both version 3 products, they've done these before. But essentially almost zero latency, HDMI capture and mirroring. So what I want to do is start gaming on my Switch on the stream maybe a little bit. And see how that goes. I'll just have to test all this stuff and set it up. And this is more of this is just a dock and charger type thing. But hello, Fetty. Welcome. So maybe I'll give one of these a spin tomorrow over lunchtime if I do another lunch stream and have the time to actually try to test some things and set up and do a little bit of Switch streaming. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm excited to try those out. Branch out the content a little bit, and I've also got a bajillion games on my Switch that I just haven't gotten around to yet, and that would give me a good excuse to do some stuff. Like some stuff I've backed on Kickstarter, some stuff that's just been sitting around for years that I've, got Switch codes for. That I would really like to try. So how's everybody doing? Ooh, it's been another wild weather week here. We have thunderstorms today, and then it was like 70 degrees yesterday, and wild stuff. Also some fun keyboard things that have kind of risen up. One of the big ones was probably the Bauer 65 actually going into group buy, which had been hinted at, and they had done a raffle for a very special edition of it. But yeah, it's actually up. It's a little pricey, but I mean, I get it for what it is. It's also like cross compatible with all the Bauer light parts, which is really cool. And I do like this like polycarbonate and teal one a lot. But we'll have to see what the next... this runs through the end of April, I think. Yeah, the 29th. We'll have to see what this month holds budget-wise to see if I actually want to try to jump in on this or not, because they have a WinKey version now, if you can believe it. When I was talking to Garrett at the Novel Keys meetup last year, he hinted at this coming, that there would be a WinKey Bauer, which is wild. Hello, Menu. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. I was enjoying your stream earlier today. Hello, hello. So that's kind of interesting. We'll see if I end up having the money to be interested in that or not, because I do feel like this would go pretty hard with Gorp, which would be fun. But also that would go kind of nice with Gorp is the Juno, which is launching very soon. This is launching in like 3 days or something like that. Masters, welcome! Masters and I both got the exact same Pangea Mini. Well, mine's WinKey and his is WinKeyless, but other than that, I think we got the exact same thing and he just built his. So, we'll be almost twinning with these builds. To be honest, biased because I work with old Juna is more worth the price. Yeah, so I definitely heard your take on the Bauer earlier today. And I do really enjoy the look of the Juna. I was actually chatting with Logo a bit in Discord the other day about this. Because I think this would also be a really nice match for Gorp. Like the mint colorway here, I think would be really fun. I mean, either this or the blue one would both be nice, honestly. But it is... I've listened to some of the sound tests, and I do dig it. Unfortunately, there wasn't another I did talk to Logo about potentially streaming this one as well, but they just didn't have another prototype available floating around because of what they're, sending it out to the heavier hitters, which is understandable. But I'm definitely keeping my eye on this one as well, because I have really liking the colors and stuff they've got available for this. So I think it is, roughly the same price as a Bauer 65, right? Because that's close to 400. And it does come with a plate and a PCB for that price too, which is nice. So considering, could always have another 60%, right? What's up, Naveed? Welcome. You should stream more, Naveed. I agree with Manu from earlier. Reloaded, happy birthday. Rage rate. It's always your birthday, Reloaded. Did I get the Manta? I did. I got the Machinist colorway. So I'm very excited for that. Which I think, what is that, May they're saying right now? What else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, they also hint on the Novelty stream earlier today. It's been a big day for streams. They were talking about the new Beep Set PowerBook, or just Power 2048, I think is going to start on Friday, if I'm not mistaken, or very soon. Which I feel like I've got Light and Dark. I got to get this one too to complete the trilogy, right? Mix and match. So that might be kind of fun. Although I think these are proposals. This is just the Geek Hack thread. And I believe they've broken out the accents into a separate kit. Did they release another Bauer too? I mean, the Bauer 65 is in... yeah, it's in group buy as of today. The only thing... I mean, I do like the design language of it. The hybrid plate is very interesting to me too, because you can get a hybrid MX and electrocapacitive plate, which is cool. As I'm starting to dip my toes more into EC stuff. But, yeah. Something I'm going to keep my eye on, we'll see. But, yeah. Interesting stuff. Something else that I had floated into my Discord, since this was a project I'd been working on in my spare time a little bit too, was basically cataloging my collection, or porting my collection database out of the software that it's currently in into Obsidian. And floated that in the Discord if that would be of interest to people, and some people sound interesting, so I thought we might take a peek at that as well, which has been kind of fun. It's not totally complete yet. Reggie, hello. Look at this cute guy. You mean yourself? Dude, I saw that, was that a special one-off keycap puller you made to go with Orangey? The photo of that was so cool. It was gorgeous. I can't remember where I saw it. It was either Nomnotypes or in Captain's server, but... What are we drinking today? We are drinking good old H2O. I was gonna try to be fancier with it by saying like dihydrogen oxide, but just water. But this is in my my lovely I found awesome Yeti that I designed with one of the icon sets that I made for version 7. With some of the lovely little icons on it. I've got so much fun, awesome drinkware. It's getting to be a little ridiculous. I have like 4 Yetis, and I'm about to get another one. But anyway, I wanted to look at the my collection here, because I was chatting with Shark about this a little bit, because he's actually let me hide this. He's been working on his own little piece of software called KBD Show, which is really cool, where you can basically upload and input your entire keyboard collection, which is still like in a beta version right now. But this is his, and being able to like actually catalog like keycaps and all this kind of stuff. It's not as granular in its current state as I would like, but it's really cool that he's actively working on this and taking feedback. And so all the cool kids are on KBD Show. Well, I am using something with a little bit more granularity right now, which is Obsidian, which is, a note-taking, second brain, linked wiki kind of thing. And the reason that I'm enjoying using that right now, because I had some stuff in Notion before, and I had some stuff in Craft, which is kind of a Mac first Notion competitor. But everything is just, they're just shoving AI down your throat the whole time. Both things have gotten a lot more sluggish. Obsidian's whole deal is more being file first above software. So like everything's written locally in Markdown and stored locally. And you can also, share stuff in a cloud or whatever if you want to. But it's kind of nice that everything is owned more so by you. My Notion is still double spaced. I'm still mad about it. I'm sorry, dude. So I have been rebuilding things into Obsidian and kind of storing things more locally. So everything is similar to, as you might expect, everything is built out of spreadsheets. In this case, these are referred to as bases in Obsidian, or databases. And so, for example, here are my switches right now. And, oh, wait, orangey pullers. Raffle sale soon, send you a pic. Oh, sweet. Thank you, Reggie. I'll take a look at that. So, for example, I know that I have 68 sets of switches, some more than others in a count, as you can see. Basically, batches, but there's some wiggle room there. And so I go as granular as, having the name, where I bought it from, how many, the type, the spring weight, if it's available or being used, whether, if it is lubed, what kind, hand, factory, or I don't know sometimes. This has been more of a recent addition, is the actual materials. So I've had to hunt some of these down, but that has also helped me make more informed decisions about how a switch might sound ahead of time by putting in the top, bottom, and stem materials, and then sometimes a note field if I have it. Did you put my name as the vendor? Yep. There you are. You are the vendor. Yeah, I have those, like my friend Brian, my friend Dave is in here too if I got them from somebody specific. But, and then we've got the same thing for boards. Well, Keycaps is more similar. The Keycaps, the vendor, the designer of the Keycaps, the material, the profile, its current status, kits. So base is assumed, and then basically if there's anything else here, what it is. And then not all of these have this because this became a later edition of the order date and the receipt date. It is Obsidian secret. Oh, you got them from Bowl? Well, no, you were the vendor to me, and you're the one who actually modified them and everything. So, and then this is an image field, so we'll see that in a second. And then if I actually dive into one of these more so, I've also included any pictures of the extra kits that I have as well, so I can kind of get an idea of the kitting and anything that I, if I'm looking for something or whatever, like I have pictures of actually everything that I have. And so the board base themselves, essentially I have the name of it, the manufacturer, the maker, designer, potentially, the body, either materials or colorway name or both, its layout, its status, if it is built, what plate it has in it, or if there's only one plate, what that is, the type of mounting it's using, what switches are in it, and these are linked to the other database, the keycaps, foam that's being used, what stabilizers are in it. Extras is in this case like if I have extra plates, extra O-rings, extra accents, parts, whatever, PCBs. The vendor I got it from, order receipt, and then I put this in here, but I don't have this visible everywhere, which is how much I bought the board for, which gives me sometimes a baseline if I'm going to sell something or whatever. And then some notes. Like in this one, the board I'm typing on right now, the DNWorks 7, built by Extra Prius, please. It's great that you're identifying materials to know what sound will make. Is there a guide to Franken switching anywhere online that you know of? I've had to learn all this stuff. No, I'm not a Franken. I don't really know anything about Franken switching, unfortunately. There are folks in the hobby much more knowledgeable about that sort of thing than me. So I'm sorry to say I don't know. How do I like this versus Notion? My original version was in Notion. I just don't like Notion anymore. It's so slow. At least in how I've used it, it's slowed way down, and I don't love all the shoving AI into everything. So this database has actually gone through 2 other iterations to get to this point, and everything is stored locally in Markdown, and that's something that I really like about Obsidian as well. And I could also publish all of these pages, which I plan to do like, my website / keyboards or something, and have my collection available. I just recently got all this stuff put into here, so it makes you want to die. I'm sorry, dude. Yeah, we used Notion a lot at my previous job as well, my agency design job, and it depends. I mean, it depends a lot. Its speed and the direction the product was going did not align with me. So I decided to jump ship. So anyway, all of that goes into one page, which is what will be shared eventually, which is just Noah's keyboards, and I have all these kind of little drop downs. So my plan is eventually I'll have pictures attached to all of these cards. And I can choose to surface what information is kind of up here at the top, but I can see at a glance like what caps and what switches are where, and all that kind of good stuff. I'll go through all the keywords. The keycaps. Oh, I love looking at the keycap list though, because I have the base kit as the cover image for all of these things. So I could dive in more and like actually, add more properties, like if I wanted the profiles listed or the material for some reason, or what all kits I have, or the vendor, but for now I'm just keeping it it's like scanning by site and then seeing where it is, kind of. Got all those. Too many keycaps. Switches. This is still in progress because I'm still hunting down some images for some of these. So adding images of all of my switches, and I think these are organized currently by type and then spring weight within that type. So it starts with light tactile and goes up in spring weight and then hits linear and goes up in spring weight, etc. I think it's just alphabetical by type first is how I have it sorted right now. And there's L'Orange switches, which we'll be using today. And then finally I have artisans, which I don't have all the pictures for yet either. But you can see kind of how that's all going to be laid out as well. And those get linked to boards and builds and all that kind of stuff as well. Very clean. Thank you, 3D. It's kind of my first exposure to it, but just so many documentation solutions, everything eventually gets lost and buried. Yeah, you really gotta, I mean, at least in my case, we really had to have like Notion champions who were like keeping things organized, and like it became another job in and of itself to like kind of keep that functioning. It can be tough. Yeah. Cataloging the work becomes the work in and of itself. But so anyway, so I'm going to keep working on this database. I also gave a bunch of feedback to Shark about KBD Show, which is exciting and has a lot of potential, I think. I don't know that I will duplicate all of this work to put it in there, since I've already done this and I kind of own this and control this. Just because as time goes on, I'll be getting more and more averse to like putting my shit on other platforms that I don't control. As I'm streaming on a thing owned by Amazon, but you know what I mean? Like wanting to put more effort into my website, the things that I control and have more agency over, and I'm not, at the whim of some brain dead CEO somewhere. I have feelings. I have feelings about the tech landscape, okay? Anyway, let's build a keyboard, huh? Let's dive into the Pangea Mini. So I just got this in the last few days. I feel the same as you, dude. Yes, solidarity, Naveed. Let's take a look at the board and what we got with it. Now that I've been yapping for a half hour. Go look at those orangey pullers real quick before I log off work. Oh, absolutely. Do you want me to show them? Or just look at them? Ooh, buddy. Those are handsome. Show? Okay. Oh, I accidentally made my background image the keycap holders. Okay, here we go. Look at these. This is going to be a raffle from Reggie the turnt wood pullers. I dragged it into my window and made like my Safari launcher into this background, so I'm not going to change it. Do you have one of these already, Naveen? Look at these. Look how pretty. You do. Lucky dog. Those are very nice. If you ever get a chance to get a keycap puller made by Reggie, you should absolutely do it. Oh, we got one in the giveaway during the Christmas stream. Very cool. Yeah, I ended up getting some keycaps and a little dial pad thing from that stream. Why the tape? That's a great question. It's a question for Reggie. Anyway, I have my own lovely Reggie pullers right here. I have a janky plastic one that I take in my work bag, but the nice ones stay here. All right, let's dig it. Cannibalize the wires off plastic handle pullers, spread the wires to a distance, then tape them in place. Yeah, I figured it was like keeping them from getting in the way of something. So let's take a look at the Pangea Mini. I got the citrus colorway. Because I had the exact same idea as Masters, which is that it's going to go great with DCS Orange on Beige. Which has not come out yet, of course. So it's still shrink wrapped. There it is. I love the machining on the weight. Had the same idea. What are you implying? Thanks, Reggie. Have a good night. No, I don't. So, let's do some stabs for this. I ordered some night stabs from Bowl as well, so got those in. Oh yeah, and then they also came with a box of extras on accessories. Ugh. Ran at the perfect time, exactly. So this will be the eventual home of Orange on Beige. So we got ourselves an alu plate. Just a hot swap PCB for now. I'll eventually get a solder one as well. But what? I thought there'd be a flap on this or something. Guess I just gotta pull. Let's trim it. Safe colorway. There we go. There we go, hot swap. So we've got an LED on the caps. Did I only get alu to start? I did. You got, what did you say you got? PEI? Had the exact same config and building mine on Saturday. Very cool. Hopefully I can tune into some of it. I'm playing D&D on Saturday. Daughter board. And some screws. Set those up there for now. Didn't come in. Oh, that's right, because you added it on or something. And it just wasn't included in this round. Got gaskets. And I assume this an extra weight could go in here. It looks like it's about the weight shape. We got feet. We got the little force brake nubbins. Stuff like that. Having a lot of trouble thinking about keycaps. What are you thinking? I had a similar quandary, Naveed. In that I was like, hey, it's orange. We'll do, you know, Yuri or Kaiju or, you know, Cherry Industrial Keys or something like that. But this orange is so less saturated in person, actually looking at it. I thought that those orange accents might overwhelm it. So what I'm actually thinking about today is one of the very first MTNU sets, MTNU Beige, that came with these orange accents. And it's hard to tell with the lighting, but it's probably the closest orange I've got. So I'm going to give this a try. And if not, we might just go extra tame with a different beige or something. Let's see. Like Intro Beige or something. Maybe something like that. But yeah, I want to see how those oranges play with each other. You know? And see how it goes. And beige on silver is always a win, so I think it should work out. I'm worried orange on beige won't match either. Well, I mean, that's a decent point, because I think, like, how, I mean, it's hard to tell from renders. But I mean, it's kind of a lighter, less saturated orange, more of in the creamsicle range of things. You know, I could see in my brain it working out. But yeah, it'll be hard to tell until you actually get it in hand. So we shall see. All right. Some nice, fresh night stabs. Even though I've got a million housings left over from previous builds. What I really don't have are just the 7U wires at this point. So I could always, what I need to do is just buy a pack of night wires. This is a 7U only, right? On the, yeah. Go to double check. Let's see. Well, that is really reflecting that LED right there. Because I have a light like directly above here. A real shiny. All right, so spacebar and left shift. What you could do? Oh yeah, the split is baked into the layout. I didn't actually look at the layout too much. So it's fixed 7U bottom row, stepped caps, regular caps, split left if you want, split right if you want, and split backspace. So you could do a one stab build on this if you really wanted to. If you really wanted to maximize your keys. But I think we'll stick with full left and spacebar. So we'll do split right and split backspace. And enter. I forgot about enter. I always forget about enter. Excited to hear a different switch on it. Guess I've heard a bunch on round one, I guess. That's true. So spacebar, left shift, and enter. Yeah, I listened to a bunch of different sound tests of round one. I was too late to the round one party, unfortunately. So I would love to have done some... I know it was a headache for skews and all that, but I would have loved to have done some mix and match of like all the different top and bottom parts. Okay. Big in 2 stabs. Glad I waited because I was rewarded with orange. Yeah. It is lovely. Actually, do you know, Masters, has Bowl talked at all about whether, I assume, I don't think much at all with the design has changed, if anything. Like, are all round 2 parts compatible with round 1 and vice versa? Because if I could find some parts on the aftermarket, it'd be fun to mix things up a little bit. I think it's the same. Yeah, I thought so too, but it'd be fun to get one of those, like, I don't remember if they were PC or acrylic tops, but would look very nice. Let's change this music up a bit. Let's do that. Heard rumblings of a sale for top frames, but I haven't looked into it. Ooh. Maybe that's the April Fool joke tomorrow. The in-stock April Fool drop at Bowl. Which Manu hinted at earlier, and then Bowl talked about it too. And Shark knows something about it. I don't think Shark is here. I think Shark is streaming. I thought the hint was that it was a keycap set. I mean, that makes sense because it's with no numbers, right? But hard to know definitively. Maybe it'll just be like all Rizster keycaps, like the ones from Solar Green. Doing it in the different popular stock colorways, like Novel Keys is doing with the GMK skull. That'd be actually pretty hilarious. Will I get the skulls? I'm considering it. I have a lot of sets they would go with. Maybe more so the larger kit that's like the ones that are color matched to go with popular sets. Thanks for the follow, Dano. And I did get to see the skulls at the Novel Keys meetup, and they are pretty rad. And selfishly also be nice to have some in hand because I have a keycap idea, a keycap set idea that they would actually fit right in with. And that might actually give me more of an impetus to work on my idea. Okay. Put this away. Unfortunately, like, the keycap idea that I'm most excited about making, like, is not just like, and this is not to like throw shade on anybody or downplay just like choosing colors. But mine is more like novelty based, I guess. Like the novelties are a big part of it. And as a designer and illustrator, like that's what I'm more fascinated by. And so it would also be like more labor intensive to make and sell. Which is also a little more daunting for me. It's like, hey, this one thing that I really want to make would be really hard. Would there be knobs included in the base? I think so. Yeah. You know, ideally it would work out really well as a key machine set. But we'll see. I haven't. It's just some sketches and ideas in my head right now. I haven't even sat down at the computer about it yet. I was busy designing a different set that ended up dead ending into nothing, so kind of lost steam on it. Which would also have to be entirely like UV printed. And so, you know, like I'm a designer. I want to like design my own shit and make something cool and unique. What's your process for designing sets? I mean, I haven't designed any yet. But I have a big list of ideas that kind of drill down into like a particular source of inspiration or a particular visual nugget. Or some specific little design element out in the world that'll like pique my interest and try to build something around. Because I do have a lot of experience with that as an icon designer for the past, 12 years. And needing to extrapolate small elements of a visual language out into larger pieces. I work in marketing, but I'm more on the strategy operations side of things. I'm not one of the creatives, so I'm very curious how the design side works. It's always been something interesting but out of reach. I also have some design tools because I like chat with Max Voltar. I knew him from the design world before the keyboard world, actually. And I've gotten some templating help and stuff from him because the design software I tend to use the most is something called Figma. And so both he and the designer of the Cap Legend system have built pretty robust templates in there that can help get a jump start on some things. But I really just start with pencil and paper. Familiar with Figma? Very cool. If you ever need to fall asleep, if you got insomnia, you can look up when I spoke at Config 2023. It'll knock you right out. There we go. Hello, Wise Donkey. Welcome. But, so my skill set works really well with, is a nice dovetail with keycap design, just because there's a lot of shared, like working in iconography and working in typography, that's like the whole bag really, and generating visual consistency and all that kind of stuff across a system like that. There's a lot of, the Venn diagram is a circle almost, so it's very compelling stuff. Jabro the Nuts. That's what they call me. Hello, Next. Welcome. What are your thoughts on the MT3 profile? I hope somebody will still make the Another Drop Is No More. MT3 is not really my bag. I have some MT3. Really just operator. So that because it worked out really well for the Alu Bolt, which is a 40s. It had like the kitting I wanted. But I don't like the feel of it. Honestly, I don't like the edges. So my preferred taller profile is SA if I'm going tall. I just don't really care for MT3 that much. But, as with most things, it's preference. I like typing on them, but they sound terrible. Yeah, I mean, that might be part of it too. I mean, I'm also not the biggest fan of PBT. Although I don't know, are there ABS MT3 as well? Like, I've spent almost zero time with that profile, so I honestly don't know. Mattio's working on MT4. Oh yeah, MT4 is like a lower version though, right? They are mostly ABS? Oh, interesting. My MT3 are PBT. Because, yeah, I just don't know a ton about it. let's do this. There we go. Yeah. Not much experience with it. MTNU though, I do like a lot. I didn't do much. I only ever got a handful of things from drop. I got Operator. I got Belafonte because I love The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. I got DCX Citrine because I love yellow. But I ended up not really liking the texture on DCX as much. Oops. I remember them more fondly back in the day when they were still mass drop, and that's when I got my first computer monitor from. Come on now. It was an LG ultra wide. That I got back when I was first starting out working remote. Back in 2015. Since you mentioned it earlier, Naveed, I'm curious, what were your thoughts on keycaps for this build? For your own citrus Pangea, what were you thinking about? Should test the stabs out before we get too far. And also, maybe also do the gaskets on our plate. I know the gaskets could go in the case or on the plate. The build guide recommends putting them on the plate, since, at least for the V1, all the plates come with extra little gaskets. And then if you do have one of the see-through tops, you won't be looking at adhesive. So I think I might go that route. I put them in the case anyway because I'm lazy. I mean, yeah, it's whatever. But I imagine it would be easier to line up on the case. Also, no see-through top. But what if I get a see-through top? What then? So let's grab our... Let's give these a try and see how... Might actually be easier on the plate. Yeah, we'll find out. Okay, we'll just try our put in a couple, see how our stabilizers are before we get too far. Get out of the way. Okay. It's interesting too, I haven't got any MTNU since this set. And I think that since this initial one, they have added more interior support to the MTNU spacebars, if I'm not wrong. Does anyone who's gotten a set since the first two know? Because I've noticed, like, thankfully this is not warped, but how easy it is to actually bend and twist the initial MTNU spacebars is kind of wild. Cool. So also some of the sprues were a little bit out of control in this first run. The reliefs bend quite easily. I just pulled on them a little to set them straight. Yeah, I noticed that there was a little warp on a couple of these little buddies. Actually, it'd probably be easier to do, take these out. To go ahead and do the gaskets on the plate before we get too far down the road here. So many gaskets. All right, tweezer time. Where are my little tweezers? Actually, I might not need these to tweeze too much. Yeah, it's actually a little bit easier. I'm not having to, you know, wedge it into a spot in the case or something, so I can just kind of peel and stick without it getting too finicky. These after all. There we go. One side done. Have you thought at all which boards you want to bring to KeyCon? A little bit. I'm definitely planning on doing some KeyCon prep streams as far as deciding what to take and if there's any modifications or changes I want to make to those boards. I had definitely, when I got my KeyCon ticket originally, I had definitely hoped for an event horizon. I don't think that's going to happen by June. I had hoped to be able to show that off. That's looking unlikely. Hopefully the Manta. It was seeming very promising for a minute. You are correct. I think the Manta is something it would be really fun to take. I'd probably go on the smaller end. Like I'm not going to bring my F1 or anything. Another one that might be fun, depending on timing and if Canon Keys restocks the PCBs sometime, would be the classic TKL Dynacap conversion I'm planning to do, because I have all the parts I need except for the PCB at this point. I might bring my F1. I'm sure there will be many there already. I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't feel like you can have too many F1s, though. But let me see. Let me look at my list. Yeah, no Event Horizon probably. I mean, I might take the Font Awesome Sonnet around the circuit again. It was fun to show that off at the Novel Keys meetup because it's a little more niche in the Mode world. The collab that I helped work on with Mode on that one. The Monospace might be fun. I already showed off the Duo 60 and the Keycult Zero at the last meetup. Picking two is hard. Yeah. It's like picking between your children. Which thankfully I don't have to do. I only have the one kid. But yeah, some good options. Although I imagine, depending on when they come in, there will also be a lot of Mantas there, probably. Considering the Bowl XT, because it's the rarest, that would be really cool to see again. You should do it. Unless you're worried about it getting dinged up or something more so. Manhandled. Oh, that doesn't quite work with the gaskets, does it? So use the plate fork. It's already dinged up. I know, but I mean, like, more so. That's part of the charm of a prototype, right? Not super concerned. I think that's my apprehension for Cloudline. Whoa! Shark raid. Shark! Welcome. I feel like when there's a shark raid, it should be called a feeding frenzy. Does that sound on brand? Butt burps. Hello. Mal, welcome. How was it? It was what was it? A Neo 98 you were working on? How did that go? Chum, yes. We're chumming the waters for shark. That was my poor attempt at being the boat captain from Jaws. Built for a client, friend, and possibly the quietest build I've ever done. That was also my first friend-client build. It was a very stealthy board, which was very fun to do. Very fun. Which, come to think of it, was also a very big board too. Like almost full size, like a compact 1800 kind of thing. I think it's highly unlikely ETAR ships before June, but we seek to bring that. Oh, the ETAR 87? Yeah. That would be really cool. Yeah, and I wish I knew, like, when in June the Cloud 9 was going to show up. Because that would be sick to build and have there, too. What's up, Nana? Welcome. L'Orange, huh? Yeah. We're going extra bold today because that's where I got these switches from. And they've been chilling in the Piggy since we rebuilt that last year. And I'll tell you what, Gateron switches do not like coming out of a polycarbonate plate without a fight. It's the citrus theme, exactly. Believe me, I know, yeah. I don't work with GAT switches super often. I think I've got root beers, cream sodas, these Type R's. 5-stream streak! Thanks, Shark. I have busted up some Gaterons pretty bad trying to yank them out. Oh yeah, some of these, like a couple of these deformed to hell. Trying to pull them out. Like the front is just like warping and twisting. My Pangea Mini bears the scars. Oh yeah, I remember that picture you sent. Almost couldn't get my milky yellows out of a CF plate. Really, out of carbon fiber. Wild. Oh yeah, I've got some milky yellows somewhere as well that I haven't used in a long time. So Shark, what can you tell us about the April Fool's in-stock drop at Bowl tomorrow? You seem to know something about it. Are these linears? Yes, indeed. Here, I'll pull up the stats on them if you want to know. In fact, let's just do it like this. Orange, 60 gram bottom out, factory lubed, top PA66, bottom is PA66 and fiberglass, and the stem is palm. I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, sure. Wink. I'll just do the Lord of the Rings bit. All right then, keep your secrets. You just had an idea for KBD show? We actually talked about KBD show earlier. Well, we were talking about how we catalog collections. And we looked at your profile on KBD show briefly. You don't need to be sorry for the link, that's okay. It's all good. All right. Orange. Let's get to the board case itself. Let's actually break this bad boy open. Don't need this anymore. It's time for surgery. But image you can use such name. Oh, in chat, like an integration? That would be really sweet. Yeah, to pull it up from the database directly. That'd be really handy. I wish I knew the price range of the bowl surprise. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, thankfully my hobby budget resets tomorrow, so might be golden. But I'm also I gotta save money for everything else that is coming up this quarter. I mean, I want to get in on government cheese. I might want to get a June 60. Chocolatier is still running. The new GMK Power 2048. Not to mention DCS Grass Valley. So, and those are just a few of the things that I know about. YouTube budget, yeah. Yeah, I've got my, I got my budget where I track all that stuff quarterly. There we go. Little internal screw action here. Because earlier in the budget, I went a little bit nuts, and that was not fiscally responsible. Because at the same time I was getting more seriously into the keyboard hobby, I was also more seriously getting into photography, and that doesn't mix super well with budgets. Be right back, gonna take some photos of this build. Go for it, man. Not ready to see an actual spending number. All right. Woo, look how pretty. As I bash it into the table. That was a very pretty orange. And that weight is so fun. With the ripples and then like the machining. Almost like a spirograph. Bowl strikes again. The man cannot be stopped. And of course, I mean, speaking of like saving money, I mean, I know it's nowhere near running right now, but the new schema, the Alex and Bowl 60%. This is full aloe, yes. Which I know that Menu was also showing off the Pangea Light, Pangea Mini Light, which is like metal top frame and weight, but the rest is like injection molded plastic, which is really cool. Flyback, hello, Mr. Zoku. Another thing, round 2 coming soon, since we're talking about upcoming fun keyboard stuff. It's too much. Okay, what was I gonna do? Daughter board. Sort of worried that the easiest way to get a new frame for my Pangea Mini will be buying a Pangea Mini Lite. I mean, maybe. Cross-compatible parts. All right, so we got some feet. And some little bits and bobs here. So these are these the same? Oh, these are no, not the same. Almost the same. These are for the daughter board. And then these are like little kind of force break buddies almost that go in there, if I'm not mistaken. Is this a little adhesive pad on the bottom, Masters? Do you take that off on yours? I didn't see anything about it in the build guide. Or do you just shove them in there? Bull said he'll run a group buy for Pangea top frames, but his schedule's already stacked. Yeah. Yeah, for sure want to get some more top frame options. I mean, I wouldn't see a reason why you wouldn't take the adhesive off. I took the adhesive off to make sure it would stick. Yeah. I mean, there wasn't a guarantee that it'll actually be a friction fit, so. Yeah, that needs the adhesive. There's not enough. Not enough friction to hold it in there otherwise. Oh, you got the Millennium. Very cool. How have you liked it so far? Hi everyone, what did I miss? Were there Ranch Krispy treats? I wish. No, I've just been drinking water and not eating any snacks. Great sounding board. The spacebar is super deep. Nice. Yeah, the Millennium ones looked really cool. Especially the weights. Bull just keeps taking my hard-earned money. Stolen our wallets and our hearts. Ocean colorway might be my favorite. Yes, that was really cool too. Thanks for the follow, Saiparn. I would like to suggest a snack or signature drink for each stream. Listen, I have not... I have considered that. I've thought about making a cocktail to go with the particular build previously. But I'm usually like eating dinner and helping with family stuff right up until I start, so it gets a little hairy sometimes. But I agree, having some kind of a signature or some kind of snack or something would be really good. Any thoughts on the aged Alu? Love it. Oh yeah, the aged Gahern. Oh yeah, I bet Hyper Beige would look good with that. Oh, I missed some dots. Get off of there. All right. That's a nice little braided JST. So this has to go in like so, correct? Is that correct? Yep. And this will go through the channel. All right, let's get this. Let's see, these were... These ones must be for the daughter board. Gently, gently. It's all lined up. Good. I feel like when you make really specific colorways like that, there's only so much combos that are really primo. Yep. Back from the shower. Thank goodness. I'm just kidding. Welcome back, Beast. What am I doing for the citrus? Kaiju was my first thought, but Kaiju is so much more saturated. Granted, it does go well with these switches, but I'm going to be using MTNU Beige. Is the initial plan at least, and we'll see how it looks. So, two little pad spots. Sounds like a great combo. We shall see. All right, let me make sure where the pins are. Oh, hold on. There we go. Let's get it to lie down in the channel here. I'm curious if orange on beige is too saturated, how it would look on the pumice manta. Ooh, that might be really nice. Yeah, I've got the machinist manta. And so my current plan is potentially SA X-Wing on that. So are these just extras? Are these like extra, like a different size hex thing for the top case or something? What was your reason to stick the gaskets on the plate instead of the case? That is what the build guide suggests. Namely because if you have a transparent top, you won't be seeing the adhesive. And if more tops and things do get sold at some point, as it has been hinted they might, I would think I would like to pick up a transparent top. So that was the reason. Also, plates come with extra gaskets. So there's no shortage. So I just followed the suggestion. Okay, let us... Oh, I missed some stuff. Puma, sucker, all shades of taupe. It's your favorite. Yeah. Side with me. Excuse me. Gotta do some case compression here to get it to bite. I did the case anyway because I'm a free thinker. Nobody's going to tell me what to do. I had a pumice pre-order that I converted into an in-stock Constance TKO extra purchase. This is the first like hidden screw. Well, one of the only hidden screw type boards I've done that and kind of angle it this way. It's kind of new to me. Let's see. Not all the way down over here, are we? That's probably partly due to this one. Yeah, I don't want to tighten up too soon, too fast. Let me actually and loosen up a couple of these. Don't want any weird tension issues, you know? Yeah, the arrival of the manta is going to be nuts. frame weirdness over here, I feel like. That tightens up really nice, but this one is not tightening up quite the same way. Try that one again. I was worried about over tightening or stripping the threads. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to be careful. This one screw is having a little bit of trouble. Curious about using one of these instead. So they're largely the same? One of these non-daughter board ones has a bigger head on it. Have I tried a Glare 65? I have not. I've admired them, but the Bion bolts are very small in the Pangea Mini. It was a little scary. There we go. I think that was better. I don't think it wasn't sitting quite right at there prior, but now we're good. Is the flare the one with a hella steep typing angle, or am I thinking of a different Geon board? I honestly don't know. Yes, there you go. I feel it's been so hard for me to actually keep up with all the different keyboards and their names and what they actually are. Geon loves his heavy ass boards. All right. Let's do the feet. I do enjoy a board with a bit of heft to it. Man, that's beautiful. I'm actually fairly new to Geon boards because the F1 that I built not that long ago is my first Geon that I own. Although I did build a Frog TKL 8K for someone prior to that, but I'm a fan. I like it. All right, let's see. Reminds me of the orange of the capybara. Mm-hmm. Zing, 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 zing. That's nice with the L'Orange switches in here as well. Which are more saturated, but I don't think it looks bad. And we won't see them much anyway. Another option I thought might be a nice fit would actually be using some of the Alex Sotos Obscuras. But the orange is almost identical, actually, the color of the stems. But we'll see. I have had to use these for space bars before when I've used L'Oranges. So I might end up changing one of these out depending on how this sounds. I do like Obscuras as space bars a lot of times. Orange on orange on orange on orange on orange, yeah. All right, so there's our 7U. Oh, let me see this. Yeah. Not in love with that spacebar yet, but we'll see how it sounds once everything else is in. We'll do it with the orange accents. Get these ISOs out of here. Thanks for the follow, Dr. Drew. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Obscuras. MTNU is very nice. This was one of the first 2 sets of MTNU that ever ran. And I've also gotten in on... So I only own this, and I have Susu. And then I've gotten in on Foundation, round 2. Which I'm excited to experiment with when it comes in as well. Just needs more colorful sets? Yeah, I mean, I guess Davina Papaya and Miklon both had MTNU runs, right? But yeah, if we could get something like a panels or an MTNU. Maybe some middle ground between Papaya and Mono. Yeah. Walked by my house twice in the last week. I should drop your MTNU set back off. You know, I thought about it after I got the switches from you and gave you that F1 plate. And I was like, oh yeah, well, okay. I mean, obviously I haven't been like super jonesing for it or something, so it's totally fine. But yeah, I thought of that too. Like, oh yeah, he still has that. That's numpad. Want to try them with EC. I don't really care for the sound on MX, but they look and feel so nice. Yeah, they are really good with EC. And while I enjoy how this is looking so far, we'll see how we feel about the sound, but I might veer off and put DCS on this. Control. P. I have yet to try DCS. I am a fan. I've gotten a lot of DCS recently. Well, over the last few months, I guess. In fact, I mean, we could peek back at my database if we want to. And so if we search by DCS, it says 93 results, so that's not accurate. These are the what I have and have ordered so far as DCS goes. But, oh yes, DCS UFO. I got every kit. And 2 of the novelties. Yeah, DCS UFO I'm very excited about. Orange on Beige I think would look excellent on this board. Got some 40s coming, so maybe that'll be the 40 for 40s stream if we end up doing that. I mentioned earlier, for anyone who wasn't here, I will be turning 40 next year. And as part of that, I'm considering building some 40s as part of a special stream and attempting to daily drive them for a year. Bull Pit also looks really excellent. I am excited for Bull Pit. Build 40 40s for your 40. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if like Keyrist wants to donate any of her 40s to me for that, I would gladly take them. Oh wait, that's too small. Curious to see what SPJ does for the... Oh, do they have DCS clones over there? I had not heard about this. A new IC was posted today? Drop the link, Nana. I want to know about this. I'm very interested in all the stuff that Swag Keys is working on right now. Let's look. Let me throw it into my other window. Right here. I was like, no way. I'm like, this is inspired by this, I see. Interesting. Huh. Think it's a bad idea to post an IC with DCS profile and Gorton Legends when it's not sure. Yeah, this seems a bit of an overreach. But, huh. Interesting. I mean, I also don't care for how the set looks. Like, I get that it's based on this thing, but this also kind of looks like ass. So, I mean, that's one thing. But, like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Huh. Maybe that's just because I've seen, like, normal cherry font, cherry looking whatever for so long, and, like, aped and cloned by all sorts of folks. But I feel like DCS and Gorton, using the Gorton Legends and that whole thing is like so nichely specific signature plastics. I don't know. It's from a movie about typewriter competitions. Okay. I guess we're scraping the bottom of the barrel for keycap ideas these days. I'm just kidding. Fanta flavored switches. Now I'm getting thirsty. I've just been drinking water this whole time. Heroes. Let's see, I'll do that. All right, that's not correct. Something new other than Oil Kings. A lot of good switches out there. I say that as somebody who primarily uses HMX at this point, I feel like. But you know. Let's see. Arrows, arrows, arrows. Ooh, wait, we do have a big orange spacebar. Let me see. That one's a little warped. That's interesting. I forgot that it was that far down. So confused by that IC. Spoilers, they reach 500 words per minute during the finals. Haven't heard of HMX. Oh, interesting. Maybe we'll live it up with the orange a little bit more. I don't understand why Spikeheats lets him post it if they did. It was not a smart move. Because I've seen some of those molds and it's not 1-to-1 DCS. Yeah, that seems like somebody jumped the gun, perhaps? Oh, this is I. I. Bunch of numpad stuff. I do need this. What if we did without them allowing it? Yeah. I do like it. Oh, that's a Scoopy Boyd. I really fell in love with HMX switches when I was getting into the hobby. Well, not when I was already in the hobby when they rose to prominence. But I mean that the don't need to be as modded as much. Like they were some of the first that I encountered that were really good stock. And for someone lazy like me, like that's a dream come true. Little space bars. As a reminder, all the brands outside of Cherry GMK are clones of Cherry. Yeah. It is known. So function. And switches too. I mean, that's a good point. You are correct. Another alt. These are our itty bitty supers. Page down, alt. Page up. There's a system. That might work. Remember which way that goes. Escape. Currently looming MX2A Browns. I need to give Browns another chance. I used Browns back before the MX2A molds happened. And so I have not gone back to any form of Browns since the OG stock ones. Let's see, the sprues are on the top, yeah. There's our backspace. I have a big bunch, well, not a big bunch, a 65% worth of stock Browns that were in my very first keyboard, which was a Tofu 65. They came soldered. There it is. And they're still soldered in there with broken stabilizers. There should be a world-famous single-source wiki for all things keyboards with switches and computer. Yeah. I mean, I know there have been people who've tried to create databases for, like, every GMK set that ever ran, or every Signature Plastic set that ever ran. But as far as I know, they're incomplete. And some haven't been updated in a long time and that kind of thing. I need a signature keycap? I mean, I did make those ones for the co-working space. Let's see, what are we missing? T and O. Oh, I probably thought that O was a 0 or something and threw it in here. Thought it was part of the numpad. Something silly like that. Four. There's how. I'd settle for individual designer portfolio pages, but we don't even have those. Yeah. I mean, the closest and best is probably Max Voltar's. Endgames? Yeah. Oh yeah, I have seen Endgames before. Oh yeah, and the info. Yeah, okay, I have seen those before, yeah. So am I just blind? Where is the T? Ah. Now, for our escape, we could do the orange accented one, which is not that. This one. Let me see what else we got as far as... We do also have... This is the wrong profile. But I do also have this amber dyed PC Expo cap, which honestly is pretty dope. But it's the wrong profile. I don't have any MTNU artisans. So let's just go with this for now. Oh, no, that's the wrong profile. What am I doing? Aha. There's row one. This is going to be going on to the Cloud 9 with Expo when that comes in. Yeah, I was like, I feel like I was really lucky to actually get all of the Expo artisans because there was, you know, shenanigans with space cables and stuff during that time. So I think I actually got them from 3 separate vendors. Like one was directly from Salvin. One was from Omnitype. I think the copper one was from Omnitype. Hold on, let me pull this up. The amber one was... Oh, the amber and the aluminum ones were both straight from Salvin, because the aluminum one was going to be run by Space, and then the whole Space thing happened. Could you make a custom keycap set with chunk? I could. I absolutely could. There isn't a full alphabet with chunk, but it could definitely be used for novelties and stuff like that. Let's have that over on the side. There was a different full alphabet, though, that I did make for another keycap idea that we're working on. And I had also made some of the artisans for it. I just need to go back and actually zhuzh it up some more. Really sad I never got my Alu Expo artisan. It was like the second artisan. Oh man, I'm sorry. Yeah. Look at this. I don't know if it'll sound any good, but MTNU on here with the orange accents are pretty close. This does look nice. Oop, fingerprints. You can see my smudgies right there. Let's give it a listen, shall we? So we've got... Actually, let me hide some of myself here. Chat, face, and there we go. So this is MTNU Beige with the orange accents. We're using Gateron L'Orange switches, which are stock with the factory lube. Aluminum plate. There's no foams or anything. And let's give it a test. Got a nice bit of flexibility in there with the pour on. Let's see. Yep, it has that MTNU sound. I'm actually curious. I do love how it looks, and I do like how this board sounds. I'm not sure if I want to keep MTNU on it, but I'm actually curious of how fast we can switch this out. I do want to try DCS on this real quick. Hold on. Let's see. We'll throw some DCS intro on here. 9-minute kit swap, go! I guess I could stack it up. Ugh. Now we can go a little bit over if we need to. I can just feel it in my bones, though, that I think that a profile with a little more clearance might really shine on this a little bit more. I'm going for the 400 words per minute from that typewriter movie. We'll go without the colored accents for DCS, though. And this, I actually do have a DCS artisan I could use. This is the power of Reggie. You too could have this with a Reggie keycap puller. And while I'm doing this, let me also go ahead and, since I was mentioning the Discord earlier today, plug that if anyone's interested. We were chatting about keyboard collection organization and other fun things earlier today. It's a small, chill place if you're interested. It's mostly for keyboard pings, or stream pings, and stuff like that, and collecting interesting interest checks and group buys and stuff that are coming up. All right. Oh yeah, this is where the Alex Soto's Obscuras were. No, that is, what is... That's a Retro J. What was I doing in here? I must have been just testing out switches. I haven't used this board in a hot second. Hey, thank you for joining, Beast. Is there just one row of Retro J's in here? Mystery keyboard. I did let somebody borrow this for a while at my co-working space, and I gave them 2 sets of switches to play around with, and so this may be the result. Now we're going really full bowl. Everything in this board now I have bought from Bowl. I bought the stabs, I bought the board, I bought the caps. A true keybold. Beige! Sorry, Chris. It's not MX2A blacks, though. But look how pretty. Whoa. It's smiling. Good news? We love good news. Oh, Minecraft zombie. Man, I used to play so much Minecraft. Back in like 2013. Wait, what are you sharing, Manu? Do you have enough to share with the class? Ooh. Interesting. Look at that. That's a fun swirly effect. Kind of a marbling. My roommate just started a server for his girlfriend's daughter and invited me. I'm scared to join because my life will go away. Oh, for Minecraft? Yeah. It's a lot more, I feel like it's a lot more advanced than when I used to play it. Work in progress. Is this going to be another swag keys set menu? Ah, GMK. Yeah, I didn't know if they were, because I know they're doing a lot of fun swirly stuff at GMK. I didn't know if Swag Keys was going to try to get in on that as well. Let's see, let's now dive in. Oh, I do need the space bar. Should post this in Mango's Discord. Ooh, that spacebar is hitting a little bit better than the MTNU one. For me. All right. We need our shift. Stuff out of here. Round 2 thermal looking nice. Yeah. Yeah, I got this done with I did a custom PEI plate from Tom over at Hype. And it's really fun because you can like, I mean, you won't be able to tell here, but see the glow, you know, through the material on the side. And I feel like it lends itself well to the retro vibe. It is quite nice. Let's see, Alt, Control. Oh, do you recognize this, Masters? Almost as if it is a mix of music that someone curated. Excuse me. I need another control. Didn't already get it out, did I? We'll even throw on a couple little Windows keys here for Masters. A WinKey? Am I a WinKey enjoyer? Yes. I am a WinKey enjoyer because I am a Mac user, and so I do need all of my keys typically. I mean, I get by with HHKB, but I know you can remap and whatever and blah, blah, blah. But I have my own little hang-ups about things. There we go. A little DCS. And for the, I think we'll use our little Gorp friend, the Gorpus from Zoom. Little DCS buddy. It's interesting that it's in the Gorpus color, or the Gorp colorway, but it is DCS. So, we'll use it with some DCS beige. Ugh, never been used. Oh, it does not want to go on there. There we go. That might be interesting getting off later. But look. Meow. All right. D-Gen, you and your space bar, leave my window keys alone. All right. Let me find something to type here. Siri, again? I am liking the way DCS sounds on here. That spacebar especially is an improvement. Although I am curious about actually stealing one of these. Ooh. I dig that. I might have to switch out the whole board actually from Gateron L'Orange's. L'Oranges work best in alu. Well, this is alu. But I actually prefer the way they sounded on a PC plate in my Piggy to this, actually. So they may migrate back there, actually. But sometimes hard to tell, of course, through a microphone on the internet. I do dig that, though. I was never able to get them in a build I liked. I ended up giving them away. I definitely do have some switches like that just never quite work out for me and my preferences. Let me hide some stuff here so I can snap a pic. Let me put this away as well. The pic for the streamies. Some of this stuff can sit out, I don't care. It does. I do like it with DCS quite a bit. That's very nice. And that side profile is just killer. Like the curve. Like I can imagine, like, you know, the machining on the weight is very obviously, you know, high quality. You can tell with kind of the, you know, all the little grooves, and you can see my wonderful fingerprints. Kind of the spirograph kind of nature to it. But these curves, for my limited knowledge of like CNC machining, that is so hard to do. To get it so nicely done and smooth. It's wild. I love my oblique, but I like the look of this more. Oblique is definitely like a great aesthetic on its own too. Actually, let's do this. I don't know if that's super straight. I can straighten it out in post if I need to. We'll just do that for the moment. Give myself a chance to get a screenshot of that later. STR without delays will be the best. There we go. Let's actually plug it in. Make sure it actually works. Keyboard setup assistant. Yes. Perfect. Works immediately. Let me move all my other 60% up here that I've got going on right now. Love it. Very cool. And that is going to have to be our stream, I think. I need to help with the kiddo. Went a little bit over time, but that's okay. She's bopping around out there. I can hear her. So I'll definitely be doing some rebuilds with this. Probably swapping out some more switches and things in the very near future. This will also be my last stream for a bit. I'm going to be traveling pretty extensively over the next couple of weeks, so I don't think we'll stream again until the third week in April, I think, is what we've got. But watch your YouTube clip of your 30,000 icons and Figma didn't know Gabe Talks. Yeah, I've given a few. That was the biggest one for sure, but I've presented a handful of times at different things. Thanks for the follow, Wise Donkey. I'll be traveling for work, and then I will be traveling to Florida with my family. So kind of back to back. Going from one right into the other, so it'll be a bit of a whirlwind. I will be keyboardless for a time. I can't believe ads. Oh, thank you, Fetty. Promise to be good in your Discord while you're gone. We'll also be in the Discord still. I just won't be streaming because I won't be with my collection or anything. But where again? I am traveling for work. And then I will be traveling to Florida with my family. So streams will be missed. Yeah, it's fun. We are fun to do. Oh, thanks for the follow, Liquid. I'll have to figure out what I want to do. Hopefully we'll have some more stuff come in while I'm away that we'll be able to do some fun stuff with. Hydrate? Okay, just for you. I'll do it again. I actually need to go get a real drink after this and get some tea for my throat. Whenever I stream, it always gunks up my throat a little bit. Just from, like, I dry out a little bit. But, all right. Is Marcia still going? Who's streaming right now? Is nobody doing keyboards? I don't see any keyboard people right now. Not that I follow, at least. Oh, Patty's gaming? That's true. She's not doing a keyboard right now, but she is gaming. Yeah, let's raid Patty. If I can spell correctly. Oh no, that's not set to backspace. I have to remap some of this. There we go. I was like, this was just doing slashes. All right. There we go. Hooray! Have a great day. You too, Chris. Hope you're doing well. And you're welcome, Mal, Masters, Fetty, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. And we'll have some more fun stuff coming soon. Okay, bye!